Between now and the next few minutes, I can assure you, you will become a Photoshop master. Thanks so much for clicking this video. If you are new here, kindly subscribe to my channel. And if you are old here, thanks so much for clicking this video. Let's dive in. When you open Photoshop for the first time, this is what you are going to see. You are going to see your home screen. So this entire screen is called the home screen. And the home screen displays recent works. Okay, so recent designs or recent projects you've worked on. That is what you are going to see on the home screen. So recently, these are what I've worked on. Okay, but for you, when you open Photoshop for the first time, you won't see anything here. All this space will be blank. So let me open a file. Let me drag an image. Let me drag this image to Photoshop. This is when you open a file, okay, or when you drag any file to your Photoshop, this is what you see, okay. So this space is called a workspace. So everything here is called a workspace, okay. And on a workspace, we have three things. We have the canvas. So this is the canvas, okay. This entire screen or wherever you are working with. So this space is a canvas. And we have the tools. So everything here is a tool. So this is called the toolbar. So everything here are our tools. And we have our panels. So these are our panels. The layer is a panel. The channels is a panel. Path is a panel. Histogram is a panel. Navigator is a panel. Okay, so everything here is a panel. As we are on the workspace, when you want to go back to your home screen, when you click on this, okay, this icon here, when you click on it, it will take you back to your home screen. So this is our home screen. So you can switch in between by just clicking. When we want to go back to our workspace where we were working, you just click here. You click on this icon, it will take you back. Okay. So as I said earlier, our workspace consists of three things. The first thing is our canvas. Okay. The second is our toolbar or our tools. And the next thing is our panels. So we have the histogram panels, the navigator, everything here is our panel. This workspace we are having, you can switch between workspace also. Okay, I'm going to take my time and I'll explain to you. When you come to Windows, okay, and when you click on workspace, you see the workspace you are working on. So currently, I'm working on the photography workspace, and this is the workspace I normally like working at. But with you, when you open this panel, you see default essentials here. So you can click on default essentials and it will take you back. So in case, let's say, as you are working, you can't find your navigator. Maybe it's missing. Your layer panel is missing. I'll come back to all these panels, what it does. Your path is missing. Everything here is missing. Your toolbar is gone. You don't know where it is. And you are lost. Okay? Simply, what you have to do is to just come to your Windows. You click on your workspace. Then you select default essential. So right now, I'm at photography workspace. When I just click reset photography, you will see it will take me back to default, how it was. And also, you can set the workspace to your preference. So for me, I always want to have my layer panel here. Okay, I always want to have my layer panels here so that I'll be able to see everything I'm working on. Because where our layers shows what you are working on, the current file you selected, the current shape you selected, everything that you are working on, your layer panel is the one going to display it. So I always want my layer panel to be here. Everybody has their own way of setting up their workspace. You can actually save your workspace so that anytime you come to Photoshop or anytime your screen is messing up with you or you can't find maybe the toolbar you can't find your shapes, you can't find your color, and you want to get everything back, you can simply come to Windows, okay? You come to Workspace, and you save the workspace. So you click on New Workspace, and you save it. So maybe I can save this as class, and I'll take on the keyboard shortcut, I'll take the menus, and I'll take the toolbar, and I'll save it. So anytime I want to come back or want to use that workspace, when I come to Windows, I come to Workspace, and I select class, automatically it will give me that workspace. I want to go or I want to use my workspace, and my workspace, I've saved it as True Graphics Workspace. When I select it, automatically it brings me to my workspace. In Photoshop, there are 3 important bars that you have to know. But these bars, they don't serve drinks. The first bar is called the option bar, okay? And the option bar is found here. This is the option bar. So as you can see, this is the option bar. And what the option bar does, it gives the option of a particular tool you've selected. So this tool right here is called the move tool. When I select the move tool, the options of the move tool is displayed at the top. When I select the next tool, that is the rectangular marquee tool, the options of the rectangular marquee tool is displayed at the top. When I select the next tool, that is a lasso tool, the option of the lasso tool is displayed at the top here. And the next bar, you see I said there are 3 bars, so the next bar, the bar 2, is a status bar. It's found below. This is a status bar below here. So the status bar displays the document. It displays the status of the document in real time. So when I click here, when I right click, when I select document size, it will tell me the size of the document I'm working on. When I right click again, and I select, what should I select? When I select document profile, it will give me the profile. It's in RGB. When I select again, right click, and I select document dimension, it will give me the dimension of this document. Okay, so that's for the status bar. And the last bar is the menu bar, and it's found at the top. And that is the main control of Photoshop. It's like when you go to the restaurant, when they give the menu to you, you have access to everything in that menu. So that's the same thing that applies to Photoshop. We now know our canvas, okay? And that is where we work. Okay, this is a canvas. And we know this is our toolbar. We have our panels here. So what we are going to talk about now is very, very important. When you are learning any creator software, there are 3 things that is very important or you need to know. I mean, that is the first thing after you've got to know the structure of the software and the structure of Adobe Photoshop. Okay, let me take you back. I showed you the home screen. I showed you the workspace. And also in the workspace or this entire workspace, we also have 3 things, okay? And it consists of 3 things. That is the panels, the canvas, and the tool. Also, we got to know the 3 bars in Photoshop. That is the option bar, the menu bar, and the status bar. We are going to the 3 things that I said is very, very important if you are learning any creator software. And it's called the OCS. So the first thing is how to open a file. So the O is open. The C is create. So how to open a file, how to create a file. And the last letter, that is S, that is save, how to save a file. So let's start with how to open a file. So let me close this file, okay? And let me start by, so when you want to open any file at all, so we are on our home screen and we want to open a file. So let's say you have a document. It could be a picture, a file, or anything that you want to open. You can do that by just dragging it. You see, when you drag it, you bring it to the top here and you leave it and it opens. Okay, when you want to drag the next one, or when you open the next file, you select, you click it, and when you are dropping it, you don't drop it inside this. Okay, look at something. When I drop it here, it falls on it. Okay, it falls on it. But then when I come back, okay, when I rather drop it at the top here, you see, when I leave it at the top here, then it opens as a new file. So that's the same thing. Or the next ones, that is the same thing. The next file, when I bring it to the top here, it opens as a file. You get it? So this is how to open a file. The second way you can open a file is by coming to File and you select Open. Okay, when you select Open, it will still take you to your File Explorer. Then you can come to your desktop if you have any file there you want to open. So let me check here if I'll find any image that I can open. All right, so there is this flyer here. Okay, when I select Open, then it opens. So the next thing is how to create a file. Okay, so let me close all these files. And let's learn how to create a file. So when I want to create a file, I'll come to File, okay, and I'll select New. When you select New, this is how it will open. So you have Recent. These are recent sizes I've worked on or I've worked with. Then we have Save. So you can actually save some files or you can save some settings and you can leave them here. And the next one, we have Photos. So Photoshop has intentionally made some presets of some photo sizes for you. You have Print. So this way you can come and you can select your A4, your A6, your A5, your A3, your B5, and more. Okay. So let's say you already have a size that you want to work with. So you can just come here. You come and select your width. So let's say if it's 9 inches, it's in inches here. Okay, so let's work in inches. So let's say 9 inches by, let me say 10 inches. Then our resolution, we can leave it at 300, 150, 200. So let me leave it at, let me make it 100. And the rest, you can leave it. And you click on Create. So with this, you've created a file. So this is how to create a file. So this file here, or what you are seeing here, is the layer. So right now we've created a layer. So it is the layer you can work, you can do everything on to make up a flyer, to make up a banner, or whatever you want to create. When you create the file, this is where you can create everything. So as I said earlier, this is our canvas. Okay, the entire screen you are seeing here, the entire screen is called the workspace. But just this, where this white is a canvas. Here, everything here, the properties, the adjustment, and everything here is called the panels. And we have our toolbar also here. Okay, this is our toolbar. So this is how to create the file. So let's say, let me drag some things, okay? Okay, let me drag this image. So I've dragged this image to our Canva, okay? And let me try and type in something. So this is the text too. So let me type something. So let me type in hello. And I'll check it here. Okay, so I check the box. And then, okay, we can't really see hello. We can't see hello. So I'll change the color. I'll change the color. And if I want to change the color, I can change the color under the properties. So whenever I want to change, so as I said earlier, when you select any tool, when you want to change any option in that particular tool, you will find it on the option bar, and the option bar is found here. So right now I've selected the move tool. That is why, so the option of the move tool is at the top here. So if I go back to my text, so you can see I have the option of the text here. So I can just change the color and everything here. But for me, I don't like changing it here on the status bar, on the option bar. What I always do is to come to the property. So I'll just select my move tool, or I'll press on V to select the move tool. And I'll come to the property and I'll change the color. So let me change the color to red. Okay, so I can pick the color from here. And I'll press on enter. So I can move it here. Okay, so let's say we want to save this file. Okay, we want to save this file. So we've learned the first thing, that is how to open a file, how to close a file, how to create a file. So we've learned the three things. The first one, how to open a file. We've learned how to open a file, how to create a file, and that's what we are doing. Now, we are at how to save a file. And to save this file, you can press Ctrl S. Okay, the normal Ctrl S. So when you press Ctrl S, you have to write the name of the file. So let me name it IMG. Okay, and I have to choose a path for the file. So the location, let me save it on my desktop. And the file type. Okay, so let me open here. Okay, so the file type, we have 3 here. Okay, so under this file type, you don't have many options. So if you're looking at it well, we have save. Okay, take note of this. We have save, and we have save as, and we have save as a copy. So all of them, the difference is here, the type of file. So when you click on save, you can just get to save it as a PSD file. When we talk about a PSD file, it means that it's an editable file. That whatever we did here, okay, if next time we want to come back to that same file and we want to come and make changes to it, what we have to do is to save it as a PSD file. So normally you will hear a graphic designer saying, send me your PSD, send me your PSD. So it's basically the PSD file, or give me your templates. Okay, so basically that template or your PSD file, and you save it. Okay, so I'll do this, then we see. So I've saved it right now. So I can still come back here. I can come back to file. Okay, so you see, when I come back to file, I can see my save. So right now I've saved it, so I don't have that option. Okay, so right now I can save as. You see, we have save as, and we have save as a copy. So let me select the save as save as. Okay, so when you select save as, you can also save to your desktop. And at the file size option, we still have the same option as the save, the just save. Okay, you can simply click here to save as a copy, or you can cancel and you come back to your file, then you select to save as a copy. Anyway, it will still bring you to the same place. So I'm selecting save as a copy here, and I've chosen my location already, which is my desktop, and the file type. Okay, you see right now I have so many options here. So as a beginner, let me just show you three file types you can save. Okay, so the first one is a PSD. That is the editable one. So anytime you want to work on that file, you can still come back to your PSD. How you saved it, you still get it back and work on it. That is a PSD. And the next one is JPEG. Okay, we have our JPEG here. So our normal pictures. So the pictures, when you are sending a flyer to a client or any work to a client, you save it as a JPEG. So this is what you are going to use. And we have the PNG. So the PNG, basically, you save it without a background. Okay, so let me demonstrate the PNG. Okay, then after that, I'll come back to the JPEG. So with the PNG, when you want to save a file without a background, the first thing you have to do, okay, let me come back. Let me cancel and come back. The first thing, if I want to save this file without a background, the first thing I have to do is to uncheck, or let me say, move the eye here. Okay, so right now you can see there is no background here. Okay, there's no background. So this image won't help us in this demonstration. So let me take it off. Let me bring this image. I have an image here that I've taken background. Okay. Where is it? All right. So I've dragged this image here. Okay, and you see, it's a white background. But when I want to save this PNG without background, then I have to remove the eye here, okay, visibility here, and I'll come back to my file, save as a copy, and then I look for PNG, and I can save it. Okay, so image copy. Okay, so this is without a background. Okay, and when I come back and I want to save it as JPEG, I can turn on my background, okay, and I save it, and I select JPEG and I save it. So let me make this copy 1, 2, 3, and I save as JPEG. Okay, so let's say you want to send a work to a client, or you are done with your work and you want to get the file. Okay, like we did before, you can come to your save as a copy and you save it as JPEG. All right, but then when you want to share on social media, when you share it on social media without exporting the file here, the color tends to change a bit. So what you can do is you come to file, okay, then you look for export. So this export, then you go to export as, and it will open. Okay, so when it opens, the format, we have JPEG here, we have PNG, we have JPEG, we have the GIF, and we have the C, and we have the SVG, okay, and the sizes is here. You can adjust it, okay. But always remember, under the color space, always remember to tick your convert as RGB, okay, sRGB, and embed color profile. This will maintain your color when you share this file on social media, okay, and we export, and we click on save. And we are good to go. So when I come to my desktop, okay, so when I open my file explorer and navigate to my desktop, I can see these files there. So you see the first one, I saved it without a background, and you can see there is no background at the back. The other one, I saved it as a PSD file. So you see, it's a PSD file. So I can come back and edit it. So let me open it and show you. Let me open the PSD file. Did you see what just happened? Our file wasn't able to open. And it's because that is the same file we are working on right now. You get it? This is the file. You see, I saved the file on the desktop, and that's the same file we are working on. So it won't be possible. So if I want to save it, when I come back to it, I just have to close it. Okay? And I'll press no. And I come back. So how to open a file? You see, we are coming back to how to open a file. So under our recent, we can just double click and it will open here. So I've double clicked. You see it has opened. And this was how we left it, how we saved it. This was how it was. And I can close it and go with a second way by dragging to the top and it opens. So hope you've seen the difference. At this point, if you've realized you are becoming a Photoshop master, subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment. Write in the comment section, I'm becoming a Photoshop master. Okay, so let's continue. So right now we've learned how to open a file, create a file, and save a file. Okay, so let's learn some most essential tools that you will need as a beginner. Some important tools you will need as a beginner. So let me remove Okay, so the first tool, the most important tool in Photoshop is this tool right here. It's called the Move tool. And as you can see below, there is, when you right click on the Move tool, you can see there is another tool, the Artboard tool below it. So with some of the tools, Photoshop has grouped them. Okay, so with this one you can see. So every tool that you can see a small icon. This small icon here, it means it's a group of tools. So the same thing applies here. Yeah, 3. So if you see the next tools like that. But you see, when it comes to this tool, it has no baby, or it's not a group tool. Okay, so the next one to the same thing. All right, so let's talk about the Move tool. So with the Move tool, the shortcut for the Move tool is V. When I press on V, automatically I've selected the Move tool. And as you can see, when I selected the Move tool, it was transformed. You can see the selection here. If I uncheck this, there's no more there. But then I can move the layer. So basically the Move tool is used for moving. So when I select the Move tool, okay, or simply pressing V on the keyboard, I can move the layer around. Okay, so basically the Move tool is used for moving objects around or objects on the canvas. Okay, all right. So the next tool I'm going to talk about, or the most important tool, the next tool is the text tool. Okay, so when you select the text tool, this is the text tool, T. So when you press T, you see, if you look at this, okay, I'm pressing T on my keyboard. Take a look at it. You can see it's selected. So after pressing it, I can click anywhere and start typing. Hello class. Hello class. So when I'm done, you see this check here, then I'll check it. And I want to move it to the side or to the middle. What do I press? The Move tool. So when I press on V, automatically it's selected. But you see, you can't see the wrap selection around it. So because the transform, you can't see it around it. And it's because I turn it off. So you can turn it on. Okay, so that you see when you selected it. So you have your Move tool here. Okay, so we have our text. We've learned how to use the text tool. And also with the Move tool, I didn't say this before. Let me add. So let's say you want to rotate this. Okay, you want to rotate this. And what you have to do, okay, what you have to do is to transform it. Okay, and to transform, okay, for this one, I'm giving you a shortcut. There are a lot of shortcuts in Photoshop. Okay, but this I'm giving you a shortcut, a simple shortcut. That is Control T, Control and T. Okay, so Control T, then it transforms. That is when you see the check here. Okay, and you press on your Shift, and you can rotate it around. You can rotate it around. You get it? Any angle you want, you can rotate it. Okay. And also, you see this button here, this box here. Let me go back. Let me transform. So Control T, and let me check it. Let me see. Okay, now I can check it. So after checking it, I can see the reference point. This is called the reference point. So it's in the middle. That was why when I was rotating, you see when I press Shift and I try to rotate, it rotates from the middle. It's because of the transform. When I drag it to this point, it's going to rotate from that angle. So Shift, you see it's rotating from that angle. That is for the reference point. So when I bring it back to the middle and I rotate, you see, it turns out to rotate from the middle. And now I drag it here. Okay, so, all right. So we are still with the move tool. This move tool is so powerful. So the next two I'm going to talk about is, I'll collectively call them selection tool. So there are a lot of tools you can use to select in Photoshop. Not just one tool, there are a lot of them. That is why I didn't say to A or to B. So this tool right here, okay, it's a group of tools. So when I right click, we have the rectangular marquee tool and the elliptical marquee tool. They are all used for selections. So let me drag a file, let me drag a picture to my canvas, okay? So let me drag this image to our canvas and I'll leave it. And I want to stretch this image, or let me say expand this image. So what I can do here is to come to one side. You see right now the image is transformed. So I can press an Alt, okay, and hold any of the corner, any of them at all, any of them. And I'll press my Alt, I'll right click, and I'll drag out, okay. And that's how I can stretch my image. Okay, so right now we are talking about the selection tool. So we have the marquee, we have the rectangular marquee tool, elliptical marquee tool. They are all for selection. When you come below, when you come here, when you right click, we have the lasso tool, the polygonal lasso tool, the magnetic lasso tool. And when you come here, we have the object selection tool, the quick selection tool, the magic wand selection tool. All these three tools, they are all group of tools. They are all used for selection. So it depends what you are working on or what you want to select. That will tell you, I have to go with this tool or I have to go with the other tool. Okay. But if you want to know every tool, okay, if you want to know what every tool does on this toolbar, okay, I have made a tutorial. I've explained all the various tools. So you can check out that tutorial. At the end of this video, you see that tutorial at the end of this video. But also, I'm going to put the video in the description. So you can just click on it and it will take you straight. So every tool explained in Photoshop. Okay, so with the selection, so I'm just taking you through this thread selection tool. So with the rectangular marquee tool, when I want to select this, you see, as the name goes, rectangular. Okay, rectangular. And what I want to select, so it's two things. It's either I want to cut out this portion. So after selection, you decide what you are doing with that selection. Whether you are cutting it off, whether you want to blur, whatever you want to do with it. So right now, what I want to do first is to blur it. Okay, so if I want to blur, I'll come to my filter and I'll select blur. Under blur, I'll find Gaussian blur and I'll select Gaussian blur. And I can adjust it to any radius I want. And I'm good to go. And I press OK or enter. I've been able to blur the selection. So just the selection. So that same selection, I can do a lot of things to it. I can fill this selection with a color. And when I want to do that, I'll count my FX below here. So I'm just taking this opportunity to show you or get you exposed to other tools or other things you can do. Okay, or where you can find other elements or other tools. So like the color. So I can come to the FX below. I select color overlay. Okay, and it opens. Okay, when it opens, I have options. I have my color overlay here. So I can click in here and select any particular color I want. But then, the color is not filling just the selection. And there's a reason for that, because I've just selected the entire layer. So I'll have to go back. So I'll cancel. I'll come back here. I'll cancel. And if I want to do that to just this, I'll right click inside. Okay. And I'll create a layer via copy. So I'll create a copy of it. Before I can come to my FX, come to my color overlay, and apply the color to just the selection. So this is how to do it. Okay. So because I did a selection via copy, I can delete it. I came across one thing just right now. Okay. So let me do the selection again so that I will teach you. So after selecting, okay, and now I don't need the selection. I want to go back. I want to go back to my move tool, or I want to go and type a text. The selection is still there. How do I go about it? So how to do it? You see, how to do it is simple. I'm showing you a shortcut. Or you can right click inside. You can click on vein to the move tool. You right click. Okay. You right click inside. Okay. So you don't select the move tool. So the tool you used to pick the selection, that is a rectangular marquee tool. You select it and you right click inside. You can deselect it. You are deselecting it. Okay. Or I come back and I press Ctrl D. As the name goes, deselect, D for deselect. So you Ctrl D and it's gone. Alright. I hope you got that. And the next lesson two, I'm leaving all for you to practice. So you can practice and check out my video of every tool explained in Photoshop. Check out that video. You'll be able to learn all the tools in Photoshop. Alright. So the next tool I'm going to talk about is the shapes. Okay, so we have some shapes here. Okay, that's it. So when I select, okay. So first of all, so let's say as you are working with on your toolbar, okay, there are some tools you are not finding. Sometimes it may be hidden. So if you want to find them, like I came here, you right click, there will be some 3 dots here. You right click, you come to the top, edit toolbar. When it opens, you see, you could realize that there are most tools that are hidden here. So I can just drag them here. I can drag them. You understand? Or I can just restore default. So when I restore default, everything goes back. And I click on done or enter. You see, Okay, so if I want the shapes, I right click and I can have options to the shape. So I have the rectangular shape, I have the ellipse, I have the triangle, I have the polygon, I have the line, and I have some custom shapes. So with the triangle, as the name goes, triangle, I can draw a triangle of any size that I want. Okay. Any size that I want, I can draw. And I'll leave it. Okay. So let's say I want to draw. Let me change the color here. Let me change it to brown. Let me take out the stroke. So if I want to take it out this way. Alright. So let's say this looks like more of a square, but it's not a square. So let me show you how to get a proper square. So when to draw a square, You click on Shift and you right click and you draw your square. So you see this is a square. All the sizes are equal. You get it. And look at something here. When I select the move to, you can realize that they are all in the same. They are going about. You see, they are all on the same layer, which is not the right thing to do. So what I should have done, okay, is rather come and select this layer. You see, it's because this is a shape and it's a Photoshop shape. That is why it behaves that way. But when I select on this object, okay, this is an object I dropped. This is a Photoshop shape. Then I can come back and draw my square with the help of my shifts. I get all my sizes equal. If I don't select the shifts, that means, okay, this way. So look at something. This is what I wanted to say. So when you are done, always you have to select your move to. When you are done with everything, select your move to. You come back to default. Look at this. You see, this is, we can't see the rest, the remaining. It's because of the layer. Okay, it's because of the layer. So everything that you are working on, or however you've done the arrangement here, that is how it will be seen on your canvas. So this I'm not seeing is because of the arrangement here. So when I drag it to the top, it will be seen. You get it? It will be seen. If I don't want this layer, okay, I can just click on the backspace to delete, or I can drag it and trash it here. It's gone. Now I can't see my hello class properly. And it's as a result of the arrangement on my layer. So if I want to see it, I just have to come down and drag it. Okay. However you do your arrangement is up to you. Okay, there are no step-by-step process. There are no principles that says your text has to be here, this has to be here, or that has to be here. Okay, there are no step-by-step process in your arrangement here. So however you do it, that your design will be visible. However you want it to be, you do it that way. Alright, so we are almost done. But the last thing that I'm going to say, or I'm going to show you, is undo and redo. So this is also an important thing. Okay, undo. So undo, I want to undo this. So I'll drag this here. I want to undo it. So to undo, I press my Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. I undo, Ctrl Z. I undo, Ctrl Z, I undo. You get it? If I want to redo, it's Control, it's Shift or Control Shift, any of them. Shift, Control, then Z. It comes back. Shift, Control, Z. It comes back. Shift, Control, Z. It comes back. Or you can come to edit here. Then you have access to your undo and your redo and stuffs. So when it comes to edit, you can see those functionalities here as well. Alright, so this will be the end of today's tutorial. I hope you've become a master of Photoshop. Okay, so these are just the basic things. These are the basic things you need to know. If you know these things, you'll be able to master Photoshop. So you can check out the Every Tool Explained in Photoshop. I'll leave it in the description. You can check that video. I also have a couple of videos that you can check them out that are so helpful. Okay, it will be so helpful to you in your Photoshop journey. Alright, so let me know in the comment section if this video was helpful. Let me know, and kindly comment, like, and share this video to others. Thanks so much for clicking this video. See you next time.